Welcome everyone to The Trailer Park, a brand new segment on the Cape Joel channel hosted by me, Cape Joel, and my good buddy Matt in a show that was actually named after the fans. Did you know that, Matt?
I did. I saw your little poll that you put out over Twitter a couple of hours ago, and yeah, the fans voted.
First time I have ever done a poll on Twitter. I know you could do it, I know they had the technology, but this is the first time I've ever actually done it. The Trailer Park was one of three names next to Trailer Thrash. I kind of enjoyed that. Get it? It's like Trailer Trash, but not.
Yeah.
Coming Attractions, which was kind of already a show that existed, but already had a lot of good art assets laying around if I wanted to do it. But a staggering 52% of people, so well over half of the fans of the staggering 146 that actually voted, wanted this show to be called The Trailer Park. And on this show, Matt and I are going to take little looks, little insights, little commentaries on the newest and biggest trailers. And of course, the biggest one that came out this week was the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer. And you're probably thinking, hey, wait, don't you guys usually talk about this sort of stuff on the comic multiverse? Yeah, we do, but that was the only thing to talk about this week. So instead of trying to build an entire podcast around one piece of news, we said, fuck it, let's do this.
Yeah, we thought we'd try something a bit new other than basing a whole show around one topic.
We're moving into the new year, man, and part of moving into the new year is you gotta change stuff up, you gotta try new things, and this is one of the new things we're trying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, really, where do we start with this Homecoming trailer? Well, I think an important thing to note is there was actually two trailers, because there was the North American trailer, then there was the international trailer that actually had more scenes in it.
Yeah, it was sort of like an alternate scene one that they put out for places like here in Australia and I guess the UK and whatnot.
Different choice in music, too. I liked the North American soundtrack that they picked. I thought that was very Peter Parker.
Yeah, it was great. It was great for both of them. Both of them had really great soundtracks.
Kind of dopey, but kind of uplifting. I know I've heard that song somewhere else before, but yeah, I mean, this trailer really does let us pick up with Peter not long after the events of Civil War. He's kind of, settling into superhero life, and he's having some growing pains with it.
Yeah, well, I think the movie plans on basing itself during Civil War and after Civil War, because in the trailer we see Peter wearing the prototype outfit that he had in Civil War in the scene where he was in the bedroom with Tony Stark, and they showed that footage and everything. And he seems to get the costume as well as an updated costume.
With the wings, with the frickin' web wings.
Yeah, they look really cool.
I'm not going to sit here and say I called the web wings, everybody, but who fucking called the web wings? I'm like, look, they've done everything else in movie versions of Spider-Man except for the web wings. Those are next. And lo and behold, they happened.
Yeah, and leave it to Marvel to do it.
Not only do they look great, but they actually look to serve a practical purpose now.
Yeah, he seems to be able to jump further and kind of glide a little bit.
For short periods of time so he can stick and swing on stuff. I like it a lot. I also continue to like Tom Holland. He has an awkward, geeky charm about him, as Peter Parker should have.
And it's helpful that he is also a teenager. He's not like some 30-year-old pretending to be a 15-year-old.
Yeah, it only took you 2 other movies to hit that, but they did it.
Even it kind of looks like Peter Parker a little bit.
Yeah, most definitely. We got a ton of characters introduced in this trailer. It's funny, I think one of the big things everyone was talking about on Twitter was they're like, whoa. Gank is now Peter's friend? No, actually. That's not Gank, despite the fact that he loves Legos and he's a big dude. That is a reimagined version of Ned Leeds, supposedly.
Yeah, you could probably talk more about these characters than I can, since I'm not reading any of the Spider-Man characters books at the moment. But
you remember Ned Leeds and you remember Gank.
I do vaguely remember who he is. Yeah.
I mean, Ned Leeds has always been one of those guys who worked at the paper with Peter. So now they've retrofitted him as a friend, and now they've essentially given Peter a Gank, which I think is so funny when you look at the success of Miles Morales and Ultimate Spider-Man, that they're kind of cribbing notes from that now.
Yeah, when usually it was the other way round.
Yeah, I find that very interesting and very funny. We also get to see Liz Allen now. Liz Allen is the girl that Peter is lusting after now, which makes sense because very early on in his career, yeah, that was the case.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really glad they're not going, the Gwen Stacy or the Mary Jane yet. I'm really happy we're getting someone else.
Oh, we'll probably get there, and hell, if this movie does as well as I think it's going to do, I think they could run the gambit of Peter Parker's romantic, romantic relationships, because he's had so many: Liz Allen, Betty Brant, and then of course you get into Gwen and MJ and everyone else. But oh yeah, he's had quite a few.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see, and of course he's like a teenager as well, so he's still got a lot of life left in him as well, and like growing into adulthood and everything. So we see where it goes from there.
Here's hoping they don't rush him to the end of his high school life as they tend to do in these.
Yeah, the last two iterations have had like half a movie where each of them are in high school.
Another really clever thing this movie seeks to do is it actually takes a page out of the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon playbook and goes completely colorblind in its casting.
Yeah, it was pretty great. Yeah, I like what they're doing with this sort of diverse cast with black people, white people, Asians, all these different races.
And I mean, it makes sense too, because Peter Parker is a high school student in 2016, and if you live in Brooklyn or you live in Queens in 2016, that's the thing, you're going to see a wide variety of people. It's not like in the 60s when, Lee and them, when they first put this to paper, so they have actually updated it for the times and made it feel a little bit more realistic. Also, some great references to the Avengers, of course, those hapless thieves trying to rob like an ATM machine while dressed as Avengers.
Yeah, that was really cool, and there's actually a really cool part in that where when Peter's like fighting them, he makes the Hulk, the guy in the Hulk mask, punch the Thor one, and that's kind of like an on-running joke with the Avengers, where with Hulk punching Thor in the Avengers and everything.
No Hawkeye or Black Widow on that dumb robbery team, though. That made me laugh.
Yeah, they don't get masks.
Oh, come on, guys. The two assassin members with no real powers don't get masks? That's bullshit.
They're out in the car waiting.
Oh, they're the getaway drivers. Yeah, that makes sense. Another touch, those guys who were robbing the thing clearly had what looked to be some super advanced technology, like a plasma lance or something.
Yeah, it looked really Chitauri based, and makes me think maybe they're gonna slightly connect it to the stuff that was going on in Luke Cage and make it like a hammer weapon. Because remember, like Cottonmouth and all of them were trying to get hammer weapons out in the street,
right? Well,
fight these people.
Well, it's funny too. We see several instances of dumb, small-time criminals with super advanced technology. We see Donald Glover and what looks to be a guy wearing a Shocker jacket, and as well as the dude cast as Shocker himself with these very strange, almost alien weapons. We know the Tinkerer is going to be in the movie, and I wonder, is that a thing? Is the Tinkerer supplying these, hapless criminals with alien tech now to pull off their crimes? If so, I think that would be cool.
Yeah, well, I think the guy who's with Donald Glover is the guy who's going to be playing the Tinkerer, Logan Marshall Green, or budget Tom Hardy. He looks exactly like Tom Hardy.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, Matt, because he really does. And it's funny, I kind of felt like a dumbass because I haven't really been paying attention to too much of the casting or much of the stuff, because I wanted to be surprised when I watched the trailer. And it's funny, when I saw the Tom Hardy looking dude with his vest and his yellow sleeves and everything, I'm like, oh, well, that guy must be the Shocker then. Only to see the international trailer and then actually read the IMDb and go, no, this guy is the Shocker, but he looks more like the Ultimate Shocker. But this guy looks like classic Shocker. Are we gonna have two Shockers in this movie?
Yeah, well, like maybe they've. Oh, I think that guy who is with Donald Glover is meant to be the Tinkerer, but maybe they might be like combining like Shocker and the Tinkerer. Maybe.
Do they trade the jacket? Is that the thing? Like, if you buy a weapon off the Tinkerer, does he give you one of those yellow jackets? Does he just have so many of them?
Well, maybe that jacket is like something you need to wear when you're using the weapon so you don't get killed or something. Like it grounds you or something, stops it from shocking you or something.
Fitting, that would make sense. I dig that. Also, too, we see Michael Keaton, Batman 89, the Vulture, using a similar big laser-type weapon on a yacht.
Yeah, he like cuts the yacht in half.
What do we think the Vulture's motivation is on this one? Because, he's always one of those characters, either he's mad about someone stealing his technology, or he's trying to steal someone else's youth.
Well, I've heard it. I don't know whether it's true or not, but I've heard it that he's just sort of like an average Joe, and it's a lot different from all like the tech billionaires who go bad and stuff. And he's just an average guy who gets hold of this stuff and just goes around doing criminal stuff, basically.
How cool is the costume though? I love that they got the collar right.
It looks so cool.
Never in a
So
million,
cool.
never in a million years would I think like, dude, the Vulture's fucking the coolest thing ever.
He looks so cool. I'm interested to see where he gets his wings from, since they're like an upgraded version of Falcons.
Yeah, he's got like turbines and shit in them.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
The turbines are a nice touch in there. Keaton sounds scary, like he really does, where he's like, I'll kill you and I'll kill your whole family.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what he's going to be like as a villain. I imagine he's going to be a really great villain.
You think there's going to be a moment where he holds Peter Parker up, like, you know, above like a 2-story building, and he goes, I'm Vulture.
He drops down from behind him or something.
You figure they got to put at least one reference in there. I mean, like, what's the point of hiring Michael Keaton if you don't make one little reference to the fact that he was Batman?
Yeah, they probably will.
Were you expecting black latex? So many places you could go with that. I wonder, do you think the Vulture and Keaton will suffer the fate of what seems to be a lot of Marvel villains, and that is that they seem underdone in a story that's more about the hero? Or because we're working with Spider-Man villains now, probably the second greatest rogues gallery of all time next to Batman, do you think they will get some more time to breathe? And I think even in the trailer, we're kind of seeing them drawing like parallels between Peter Parker and between Vulture, being like, hey, you know, this is, you know, what happens when you use your love of science greedily and when you use it for the greater good.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a little bit more time with this character, especially, you know, since it's Michael Keaton. But I think we're going to get him a little bit more developed than most of the Marvel villains at the moment. I think he won't actually end up dying, maybe, but again... Then again, like, if they do and, you know, Keaton doesn't want to come back, as you said, they've got that whole thing where Vulture's trying to steal someone's youth, and all it would take is a scene with some stunt double in the suit where he takes someone's youth, quote unquote, and they take off the helmet and it's a different actor.
That would be cool too, or also he just doesn't take off the costume at all. You can do a Sinister Six movie where just no one gets out of the costume. Literally have the actors.
They can't bank people on that, though. They can't bank on that, though.
No, I guess they can't. I mean, with actors literally phoning in their lines. But yeah, I would really like it if they started keeping villains alive for the Spider-Man movies, because he has such an amazing rogues gallery. You want to let those characters play.
Definitely.
They definitely play up to the relationship between Peter Parker and Iron Man in this trailer. They have one great scene in the limo that's pretty hilarious.
That's so great, where Tony trying to open the door and Peter thinking he's trying to go in for a hug. I thought that was great.
It's very organic how they build it up, where it's like, well, I helped you, right? So I'm an Avenger now? No fucking way. You're still
You gotta
new.
write that grey area between me and a good guy.
Yeah, you're still new. You got to work up to this, and of course, Peter Parker, like a real teenager, is being like, "Oh God, you know they don't respect me. They won't let me make my own choices." God, which is very Peter Parker too, to be very neurotic about things.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really know what the overall plot of this one is. The whole trailer basically seemed to be another celebration of like, oh look, Peter Parker's in the Marvel Universe, everybody.
Yeah, it was good. It didn't give us a lot of information, though. In saying that, I kind of wish it did. Like, just set out like, this is where the story is gonna go, and then nothing else.
Did we see Aunt May in the trailer, or was she strangely absent?
We saw one shot of her, and I think it's when the Vulture kidnaps her or does something, because she looks like she was crying and with a group of big people.
A woman in Peter Parker's life getting kidnapped by a villain? No. What do you think the reference game is going to be on this one? Do you think they're going to play it low and slow with having the Vulture be the first villain, or do you think they're going to drop references to Oscorp and everything?
I don't know what the whole deal is with the deal with Marvel and Sony, like whether they can use certain characters or whether it's just free reign. But I could see them maybe dropping hints at maybe not Norman Osborn, but maybe Harry Osborn.
I would like that.
or something. I don't know. I don't know how they'd go about it. In saying that, like Vulture is quite a interesting first villain.
Very much so. And again, too, as far as Harry and Peter go, they didn't meet until college, technically.
Yeah, yeah. So you've got a little bit of leeway there with him still being in high school and everything. We don't exactly know like when in high school he is, whether he's in his last year, his first year of high school, or whatnot.
Yeah, there's definitely lots of places they could go with this one. I like the trailer to death. Love the choice of music. I think Tom Holland continues to build on all the goodwill that he banked from Civil War. That's kind of the fun thing where it's like, wow, a Spider-Man movie, but then you remembered, oh wait, we saw him in the other movie too.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of weird because this is kind of a sequel Spider-Man film. It's really weird.
In a very weird way, yeah. I mean, they're definitely building his world, and I believe this world, and I think, going forward, they'll be able to do some interesting stuff with it. And also, too, we'll have to pay close attention to it, because this is the first in this Sony, Marvel, Disney partnership, and this is going to set the tone for everything moving forward.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I could definitely see maybe, like, if this movie comes out and is a massive success, which I imagine it will be.
I don't know why it wouldn't be.
Yeah, I could see maybe something happening between maybe Fox and Marvel because of this deal. Or again, more stuff with Sony's. Maybe Sony will lend them more stuff.
Yeah, be like, hey, look at all the success that Spider-Man Homecoming got. Wouldn't you like some of this success money?
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny, too, in the trailer, one of the other things I wanted to mention is that now it looks like, Ned Leeds actually does seem to find out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, so we'll have to deal with that now. It seems like heroes giving up their secret identity is all the rage now, isn't it?
Yeah, no, well, like yesterday when we were talking about Flash and everything, he's kind of got to reveal his identity to everyone. Also, it kind of implied in this trailer that, like, Michael Keaton's Vulture kind of knows who Peter is as well.
You're right, he was threatening him directly.
Yeah, well, again, it's like trailer editing. We don't know who exactly he's threatening. He could be threatening, like, Shocker or someone, but
as we know with Marvel trailers, they love doing that.
Yeah, love keeping everything close to their chest, but yeah, I kind of hope that he doesn't know, or like kind of at the end finds out about it and keeps it to himself or something. I'm not sure how they'd go about it.
Yeah, because when you stop and think about it, Spider-Man really is the only person in this Marvel universe so far that we know of who actually has a secret identity worth protecting.
Yeah, he's something that needs to, because he's got a family, he's got friends, he's just a kid in high school, and if something like that were to come out, it'd be pretty big and pretty dangerous for him.
Plus, it's pretty intrinsic to the Spider-Man character. Like all the other Avengers we've seen so far, secret identities aren't really important to them because they're so powerful they don't really need it. Or, they live so far removed from the real world they don't need to protect secret identities.
Yeah, or in the case of, like, Tony Stark, it's good PR.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, this is my brand and my business and my life all rolled up into one. Because we've already seen how secret identities can work on the Netflix shows. I'd like to see that translated to the big screen.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's the one thing we haven't really gotten out of Marvel movies so far. And it's funny, between that and The Flash and everything, it seems not having a secret identity is the new secret identity.
Yeah, it's really weird what they're doing. I don't know whether it's because they can't be bothered to sort of work out how they would hide it, or
maybe just
or
movies
what the whole
are
deal
different
is.
than books.
Yeah. I don't know why they don't have the secret identity. It's always fun having a character who's got a secret identity.
I think it helps in longer form stories where they're like, oh no, I need to defeat the villain and also make sure I'm not outed. But for a movie, they're like, well, actually, that'd be a really good second act twist to heighten drama if their secret was outed.
Yeah, definitely.
And a movie doesn't have to worry about, like, oh, we'll come back and do this again next month.
Yeah, or next week or something.
Yeah, exactly. So, of all the stuff we've seen so far, because obviously the movie's still a ways away and we're probably going to get a few more trailers, what would you like to see in the next trailer?
I just like more of Peter being a high school student, because you didn't really get that much this trailer. Sort of having to deal with being Spider-Man as well as being a high school student.
Yeah, for sure. I guess I would kind of like to see No, I guess I wouldn't like to see more of the Iron Man Peter stuff. I don't want that spoiled. I think that's going to be a big part of the movie, his surrogate fatherness to him. I'd kind of like to see that played out. I think there was some stuff between, like, because we saw Happy Hogan in the background. I'd like to see what Favreau's doing in this.
Yeah, I'm glad Happy's back.
Me
I'm
too.
glad he's back.
It's just fun to have Favreau around, because I'm sure Favreau just sits back and goes like, I basically started this whole thing, right, with Iron Man 1. That was me.
Yeah, if it wasn't for me, kids.
He gets all liquored up and he grabs Tom Holland. You only have this job because of me. All of this is me. I did it. Yes, Favreau. Yes, we know. I was in Swingers, damn it, or Bottle Rock. I forget which one was him. I was in one of those. But yeah, I like seeing him. That's definitely something I'd like to see. I'd also like to know what's up with Donald Glover, because people have wanted to see Donald Glover in a Spider-Man movie forever. What's his actual role?
Yeah. I actually saw people getting really upset that, like, he wasn't playing Spider-Man. I'm like, come on. You got to do one character before you do the character that character is based off of. You can't just do Miles first.
Let's put it this way. Now that Marvel and Sony have kind of buried the hatchet and are working together, we're that much closer to Miles than we were before. So, have a Coke and a smile and be patient.
Yeah, also Donald Glover's like 30 now, so...
Yeah, he's too old for it. He would have been perfect 10 years ago.
Yeah, he's busy playing Landau Calrissian now. So.
Yeah, he traded one awesome role for another awesome role. So I guess with that, everyone, we will bring this inaugural episode of the Trailer Park to a close. I hope you enjoyed it. We hope to be back soon with another one like this. I guess whatever the next big trailer is going to be. What's the next big trailer going to be, Matt, you think?
I don't know. I know the new Fast and Furious movie trailer dropped just recently.
Oh yeah. The fate of the Furious.
the movie that's no longer about people driving cars really fast down Los Angeles back streets.
I can't wait for Fast and the Furious Awakens, which of course will be a sequel, and then
it'll be a semi reboot, and they got to go find Vin Diesel's character who's like trapped on an island.
And then, of course, Furious 1, which will actually be a prequel about them having to steal the plans for a supercar. And then they just start ripping off every Transformer after that. Like, the villain's like, ooh, I've built a big gun that will shoot a laser and destroy all the cars in the world unless you can stop me.
All the cars in the world will come under my command.
Oh, no. And then eventually down the line, they'll just cross the series over with Transformers.
Yeah, and you won't be able to tell the difference.
You won't be able to tell the difference. And then, Dominic Toretto will fight Megatron in the street, and it'll be great.
Yeah, in the street with a tire iron.
Yeah, and he'll just break bottles of Corona over his head, and everyone will have a fun time. And on that note, everyone, I think we can end the episode. We hope you liked it. Be sure to like, subscribe, favorite, do all that other social media jazz. It's more important now than ever since YouTube changed its analytics. And in case you're wondering, hey, where the hell is the comic multiverse for this week? I'm going to say it was going to return next week, but maybe not. We're getting into the Christmas season now, and so Matt and I are really busy, and there's sweet fuck all for news happening. But don't worry, you will be well taken care of in the future. We know this is much shorter than your average comic multiverse episode, but don't worry, because as soon as we're done here, Matt and I are going to go do a little riff, a little fun thing for Christmas you're going to enjoy, and then later in the week, we're going to do a much bigger, much demanded riff, and you can enjoy that one on Christmas Day. So,
Yeah, I'll let people figure out what it is for themselves. I know some people probably know what it is, but
let's just
good
say,
to keep the secret.
Exactly. Let's just say clear 3 hours from your schedule, because you might need it.
Yes, and put the Prozac on the table, because you're going to need it after it.
Now you're going to need a bunch of holiday cheer right into your veins. So, whackety schmackety do, that'll do it for the Trailer Park. Trailer Park out.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and while you're here, why not check out another video I have on offer? Or maybe if you're feeling in a supportive mood, you want to like or subscribe. And if you want to support the creation of more videos just like this one, then please by all means check out the Cape Joel Patreon. A little bit goes a very long way, and I will see you all next time.